Hello. No, I didn't put on my lipstick yet, so I'm putting it on now. Putting on my lipstick, getting my lippy on. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's Sunday, January 9th. And what a crazy, we're not even 2 weeks into this year. And there's always that it's already started out for really craziness for a lot of people. Um, Condolences to many of my clients out there who have lost family members, and special, one to Ashley out there who just lost her father. And I had a few other clients who lost people. Within the last 9 days, and how many people are not feeling well and who are sick. Blessings going out to all of you and Archangel Raphael to come in and help you with your with healing. I know I'm on the mend, and getting better. It's still, it's either, my nose into my chest and cough and stuff, but I'm definitely feeling better. My voice is getting a wee bit better, definitely. But it has been a, I had to think, it's been since, I was fine on Christmas, and then just after Christmas, everything seemed to start to hit. And I know my daughter got a really bad throat infection and had to go on antibiotics for that. I'm waiting to hear back from my youngest son, who's been extremely sick, and we've had to um, get skip the dish order in in for him. He doesn't live with us, and get him medication and stuff. So he's been really down and ill with that. We're not too sure. He didn't go get tested or anything, so we're not if it was just the flu, if it was COVID, what it was. My husband hasn't been feeling well as at all either. He's been feeling very weak and not, achy and things like that as well. So he has not been working. He's gotten a few jobs here and there, but it's been sort of hit and miss. And some of the jobs that he did get were in very kind of dicey areas that you really don't want to work overnight in Calgary. They're very unsafe. And he didn't feel safe because the company that he was working with did not take proper security measures. You were supposed to be the security measures, but you weren't given ample um say, a vest in case somebody comes up and stabs you or tries to stick a needle in you, etc. So he's been home lately. So a little bit of dodginess and stuff within our life within the last 9 days. It's been really uh really challenging, for and keeping spirits up and keeping things going. It didn't help that it was like, we've been in a deep freeze, and it seems like we're coming out of that deep freeze today. I mean, the one thing about Calgary, it is always sunny here, and when it's sunny, it could be sunny in minus 30 degrees Celsius also, and it could be sunny in plus 30 degrees Celsius. So the sun shines, which is absolutely beautiful, and there is snow on the mountains, and it looks beautiful outside. So with that, but it's supposed to go up to a balmy -5. Woo-hoo-hoo! It is almost summer weather. We got to get to that zero, and then we know it's summer in Calgary. So we're coming out of that coldness. Our What else has been going on? Our car has been hit and miss. A beautiful, I love our neighborhood. I really love our neighborhood because we our neighbor across the street was noticing that we were having problems with our vehicle, and she loaned us a um to charge our battery and stuff. So we plug it in and we hook it up to the battery, and you can charge your battery. So We've been doing that with our car. Um, can't afford to get a battery changed at this time or and things like that. It's been last month with the auction and that it did okay, but it didn't do again, um it didn't meet the expectations that we were expecting. So to sort of hold us through for a couple months, that's usually what the auction has done in the past years. And but this the last few years it just hasn't done that for us, unfortunately. So the auction wasn't too bad, but it has been a little bit I'm gonna say struggling. I'm gonna have to say it is really been a struggle. Um Doing the meditations in the morning, we had to change the times a few times, and now I'm just setting it at 8 o'clock right now in the morning for the meditations instead of 6 a.m. And that just has to do with scheduling, and if I had to pick up my husband early in the morning, if he worked an overnight 12-hour shift and stuff like that. So it's just been putting one step in front of the other. I have been doing the daily um card pulls and hadn't done one today. So I think I'm going to sort of take today off a bit, except for this live, and look at how to rescheduling my week. Fairy workshop. So excited about that. It starts tomorrow and tomorrow evening, and I'm very excited about stepping into and really getting back into, because I love when I do the classes, because I actually throw myself back into doing a lot of the rituals and not be so lazy. And it's because you're in a group. So when you're working with a group of people, it's like, and plus I'm the teacher. I got to do the work, right? It's not just teaching it, not doing the work, but doing and participating. And the fairy workshop, this is the second time I'm teaching it. It's it's inspiring. It is one that really gets you back into doing the cleansing. And one of the walks or doing the journeys of the Fey shamanism and any shamanistic work, you have to do the cleansing. You have to do the work of releasing. It seems relentless at times, but it is something that is part of the practice. And I know some people who've gone and worked with different shamans, and they don't talk about this. They don't talk about setting up time to light the candle, do the releasement, and look at the things that are not working in your life and really face them. And right now I'm getting, gobsmacked. Right now with a lot of stuff that's coming in and being inundated in my life that I really have to look at, where I thought we were doing well um financially, and it's one of those things that the rug gets pulled from underneath you, and you're just like, and you're like, oh my god. And seeing, watching, the astrology and how it's unfolding, and especially with that Venus Sun conjunction was beautiful. And I'm still working on that energy with that Venus Sun conjunction, on setting up what, for the next 9.5 months to the next 8 years. What is it that I want to work on? And one of the biggest things for me, and for going forward, is actually, I'm going to be wanting to really throw myself really into building a strong foundation, in a financial crazy time. But I feel like my life's always in a financial crazy time anyways, but changing that around. So not sure how that's going to unfold for me. I don't know how that is going to look. Whether that is that I am going to have to step outside my home and begin to take a part-time job, or do some kind of online work job here, and where I can get something steady coming into our into our home, because my business is good. I have some beautiful clients, and I have very reliable clients, and it's been very beautiful. But it's the steadiness that, building up on that steadiness and rebuilding um the clients and that part of it. And it's sometimes it just feels endless. And I'm not here to bitch and complain, but I really want to be really I really I want to be real with everybody and say that it's been um a an up it's an upward hill battle right now. This Venus retrograde is really um knocking the wind out of me. I gotta say, it's really knocking the wind out of me. And coming Venus going to be or Mercury going to be going retrograde as well, hitting my Saturn is really another one that's really knocking the wind out of me as well. So, and coming up to my Saturn return next month exact. So I have my exact Saturn return next month as well. So I feel like within my own self, it's like really redirecting me to a new direction, but not understanding, like not being able to fully grasp it all and fully like grasp those reins. It's like, getting the chariot. The chariot card is one of those cards in the tarot that really can annoy me because it is one that can be very difficult to decipher at times, because it can be, a multiple of different meanings, especially if you get into the Greek mythology on what the Sphinx was, because the Sphinx in the tarot usually have breasts. So the Sphinx in the Greek mythology, I mean, she was um she was the one who caused famine, and if you didn't answer her riddle right, caused destruction. And the Sphinx in the Egyptian is one of great wealth. They had the Sphinx to guard the pharaoh's tombs and that, and guard their riches. So we have this energy of, and I'm going to say that the chariot of looking at those directions. And I feel like right now my life is a riddle, and I'm trying to figure out the riddle on the steps to take to go into a positive direction. My spirits are, keeping my spirits up have been quite good. Overall, just trying to keep things on a very positive energetic level. And I'm going to equate the meditations that I do, especially with the group each Monday through Friday, have been really helpful in working with the energies of Ganesha and Lakshmi. That's been really a positive one, plus the energies of really bringing in the Christ consciousness rays, and bringing in those Christ consciousness rays and working with that holy trinity within inside of me has been, whoa, it's a heavy one. It's a um enlightening, door opening, transformational emergence that is coming through. So I feel like right now I'm kind of entering this year is entering as the spirit of the dark soul, the journey of the dark soul from, from St. John, and entering that of the unknown. Like it's where I've lived a life that has been very tumultuous, to say the least. I've had great beauty and exhilarations at times, but I've lived a life that has had a lot of a lot of disruptions in many different ways. And as much as I try not to have it happen, it just things just seem to happen. I had one of my dear dear close soul sisters is just like, and she said, she goes to me, she goes, I don't understand it, Mary, because you don't you don't you're not she goes, you're not an evil person. I said, I try not to be, that's for sure. I can be if I really want to go down that road, but I try and keep as positive and um in the light of love. And sometimes my family will say, probably not, maybe I'm more evil than I give my than I acknowledge. But for things to unwind in our life, from moving, from stabilities, from homes where, I mean, we've been in this home for 5 years, knock on wood. I do, I love our little duplex. I do, I love it. It's and I love our neighborhood. It's absolutely really fabulous. And um to to other things that have happened in our lives, from Steve's work and jobs that have happened where they've either ended or something crazy has happened on the job. Right now he's applied at many different security places and he's gotten the jobs. They've said you got full time, but then they don't put you on a schedule and they just send out emails to say, we're looking for people here, we're looking for people here, we're looking for people here. And I guess it's like a bidding war that if you answer it quickly, then you got the job, or if you don't answer it quickly, then you don't get the job. So that's kind of like a new experience for us, because he's not used to that. It's usually you have a schedule, here's where you're working, and there you go, right? But that's not been the way. Or they want you to use your car, um, and sit in your car for 12 hours, and only pay you $1 extra, which is another interesting factor too, because we found out a lot of companies get $5 for someone to use their vehicle to sit outside their site. And the thing is, it's been so cold, so you sit in your car, there is no toilet, there's no place to warm food or anything along that line, but you're supposed to sit in this outside this gate for 12 hours, right? um and monitor it. So interesting and learning experience it has been. So we're onward and upward, and finding something that is consistent for him, that he enjoys, that he likes, to do. And I know he's very frustrated with me because of I'm my business is not one that I get a paycheck every 2 weeks. So that inconsistency brings in a lot of frustration and strain upon him, and he gets very frustrated with that. So that, in a nutshell, within since Christmas, since this whole I'd say since November, how things have been really unfolding in my life, and I feel like we're coming to um a craziness, an apex with it all, of something that it's got to give, but we're just not sure what's got to give and how that's going to look in our day-to-day world. So it's just taking, I guess, one day at a time, and seeing what direction, and trusting. That's it's having the faith, and not the thing is through my experience and through all the craziness that happens within my life, from the financials to the work issues to health issues to other things, is to continually get up and be thankful. I mean, that's one of the biggest pieces to all of this, is to get up and still be thankful. having faith that, you know what, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what I need to do to continue giving you guys um coming here, when I can, and also to, do my daily, whether it's the daily because I do it on my phone, do the tarot readings, which I've been really enjoying doing, and giving you the shenanigans of the planets. Um, this is where I feel, I do feel that brings me joy, and it brings me what I really love to do. The teaching aspect, and teaching is also, even within my doing my consultations, is that there's a lot of teaching that happens. But I feel like there's a lot of change that's happening with all of that. And the frequencies are really, I can feel the divide. I can really feel the divide within this, from where this beautiful frequency of energy coming in and being in there, to how, feeling how a pressure from from the world, and that's coming in, and the dismantlement that's happening, and we're starting to see a lot of the dismantlement happening in the world, from Kazakhstan to other countries that are going to really, um there's going to be some parts falling apart. And this is where I feel like it's within my own life. I can see it, I can feel it personally, but it's to continue to be optimistic, to show up each day, and doing the gratitudes, doing, the releasement, lighting the candle, releasing, um all of the parts that I feel like I'm struggling um with, within my own personal journey. And I want to begin to, because I'm usually quite open and raw with everybody, to let you know that right now, things are pretty crazy in our life. And we're trying to work everything out, so that we continue doing what we're doing, and I continue being on here each and every day, and just taking them one step at a time. I don't know what else to do, at this time with everything. So when it comes to my business, oh, my grandson's here. When it comes to my business, when it comes to, I'm still going to be here. If I got to go with the flow, with whatever changes show up for me and what those changes are. But I was watching, it was a motivational one, and it was with Joe Rogan. And it's, you got to do the work. You got to show up each and every day and do the freaking work, and not give up. It's so many people feel like they're owed. I'm owed. And nobody owes you a fucking thing, man. Nobody owes you anything. It's you showing up each and every day. It's you doing the work for you each and every day. That is the most important thing. You being that, what you need in your life. And for me, it's not only that, but it's also calling in your angels, calling in your divine, using my own advice. Yes, I do my vitamins and everything else each and every day. You miss my daily coffees. Thanks, Raylene. Um, we'll see how that goes. I think because I haven't been feeling so well. So, uh, but it is, it reigniting. And sometimes it's when you don't want to do that last mile, but you got to get up and just do the last mile. And I think that's where I'm at this time, and especially with the business. And I'm not saying I'm not ghosting anybody. So somebody was like, "Oh, you're going to ghost people." No, I'm not ghosting anybody. I'm still going to be here. I and book people in, do the readings and the whole bit. But it's the last mile of what's going to create a change within my life. And I have to think about, the important things is the financial, um and making sure that I can pay my utilities. I can pay, I mean, right now it's things are pretty crazy with car payments, insurance payment, all of that. And we didn't even have a big Christmas. Like our Christmas, we didn't go out and buy presents or anything. Mateus was the only one that we bought a gift for, really. And food, Christmas dinner, that was it. Um, we didn't go all crazy. Most of the money that I did bring in for uh December, or most of the money, I'd say all the money for my auction went to paying off and catching up on bills, and making sure I kept my cable going, my phone bill, things like that, car bill. Like those were the things that got paid. So nothing crazy or extravagant went out to anything. Plus, we're not big on going. Well, we can't go out. Neither of us can go out and eat in restaurants, anyways, at this time. So we know that there's going to be some changes that are going to be coming in. I'm watching the astrology is showing me that um not to yes, there is, with that Saturn return in my life, is that there's going to be some change in my life direction, but to embrace the change and directions that are coming in, um to allow myself to step into more of, I guess, trust and faith in God, that it's going to be a bumpy ride. I already knew it'd be a bumpy ride till March anyways. But sometimes you don't realize how bumpy it's going to be until it happens, or how bad the road, how many pit holes are in the road until you're on the road, or or the hill you have to go down, and then you find out, oh, you can't do a turnabout once you reach down the hill. You got to continue on. So there's that as well. So we're in a crazy energy time. March, even with when March comes in, it's we're going to be at a pivoting time in our world on which direction it's going to take. And 2020 was, when things really got, we got locked down, and only 2 weeks to whatever. But 2020 March was really a pivotal point. 2022 is going to be an extremely pivotal point as well for all of us in the world, on the direction on which way we are going to up the icy hill with bald tires. I've done that before, and I made you back up and then you just do a big run up the hill and pray to God you make it. um this is really, a lot of pivots that we're going to be doing. I mean, not only individually, but as a collective, as we go forward. I'm not too pleased with our Prime Minister of Canada. He is he is a bully, in what he said. And now it's gone viral around the world, that how he is in a lot of his speech hate that he's been saying is very in parallel to another leader that lived many years ago with a funny mustache. And he's being compared by many across the world to that person. And and I know I've said that, just because something looks good doesn't mean it is good. And that's the thing. And I feel for many of us that there's going to be a lot of pivoting of where we are going to have to make some changes within our lives, or even also within the connections of people that we have to align with, in order to survive, in order to survive. And again, this spring, I would say this is the spring that people, if you don't know how to plant, learn how to plant, learn how to garden, learn how to connect with people who do know how to do that. This is also, again, this is going to be um, a stocking up time, and really looking at stocking up. The shortages are just going to get worse, throughout the world right now. And this is where it's you find, this is where you can find, yeah, there's going to be shortages, but you can find what is meaningful and what isn't meaningful. It's like I remember mentioning a few years ago that you're going to go to the store and you're not going to find that bottle of pop that you like, or that iced tea that you like, or that coffee that you like, because it's not going to be there. So you're going to find where it's like, okay, where's my alternate? Where what, if that's not there, I'm still here. I can still survive. That's not going to be my be all end all of surviving and living and enjoying life. This is really bringing us back into a simplicity and an understanding of what is truly important to us as humanity. And with Saturn still being in, will be in for another year and a half in Aquarius. I mean, he is all about restrictions, and bringing in what are those restrictions that are in your life. I mean, that's part of what um, he does, especially in Aquarius. He wants to have that control. And with Uranus in Taurus, about, the advancements with technology. And this is the other piece too, is like, we can't blindly just walk into the technology and just sort of hand things over, where we have in the past. Many times we just, whatever on our phone, we just take it, we accept it. This is really looking into what are we stepping into? What is it that we will accept, and what isn't that we are going to accept? Especially when it comes to technology. Technology is not going to go away. There's, I mean, right now there weirdness. Snoop Dogg is selling property, virtual property, online, and people are spending $600,000 to be able to have a piece of virtual land by him on the internet. That's how crazy it is. This is where it's like, okay, that's not where my reality wants to go. There's some beautiful things that you can do with the technology and connections that you can make. I mean, the beauty that you could probably do. I'm thinking of meditations, of coming together to do manifestations, and really create a place where you are able to override that ego part and that lack part in your world, to create the abundance that you are wanting to create, to help you to overcome if there's depression, so that you can deal with what is going on in your day-to-day real world. Those, I think, are great advancements that we can see within technology. Dr. Um, Deepak Chopra was at a this was back in, I think it was 2016, that there was a it was in New Mexico. It was in Mexico, not New Mexico. It was in Mexico City, and it was a conference with a lot of programmers and spiritual people, and it was where he was talking about a program, like an app that that you would have, and that it could tell how you are feeling each day. Like if you are feeling low, if things weren't if you weren't feeling if you're feeling depressed and things along that line. And within this app, there's, you belong to a group, and if a notification would come up and say, hey, Raylene's not feeling well today, send her love, do prayers for her, maybe set up light a candle for this person. um so you would get a notification from, about that person, and so that you would send them love. But it would be all a part of this app, and this app would be able to sort of tap into your vitals, I guess, on how your cortisol is, and different. I'm getting weird Russian people on here doing weird fucked up things on my YouTube. There you go. Block you again. Um, and things like that. And I thought, wow, well, we're there. We're now entering into that type of energy, where and in that type of energy, where the frequencies are high, where it's like not necessarily using technology, man-based technology or computer-based technology, but the frequencies of like the Christ consciousness, of tuning in, tapping in to that spiritual realm, because those are coming in really powerful, and bringing in changes for us, where your psychic ability and intuition, healing are opening up immensely. And that's the other part of this year too. So with those openings, it's like you tune in, or you're going to get and say, hey, Kathy needs, send a heart emoji to Kathy today, or so and so is not feeling too well, maybe you should just sort of send something to them, or ask how they're doing. That energy organically is coming in very strongly, and that has to do with the Jupiter in a Pisces, with Neptune. Now that's bringing in such beautiful spiritual alignment and frequencies, is fabulous. On the flip side too, with that, it can also cause where a lot of people are going to be feeling, the heaviness when it comes to what Neptune can do as well, when it comes to mental illnesses and psychosis. And that psychosis is also triggered by what is also going on with the dark side of the mundane world at this time, and people being pulled into it. So that is, you know, kind of like where we're at as a collective of energies that are unfolding for us, and being aware of it, and making sure that we tune in to ourselves. And that's part of what for me personally, doing is tuning in, like where do I want to put my focus? Where's my focus today? My focus, yeah, okay, I got, is my focus going to be on, okay, I got this to pay, that to pay, oh my god, how am I going to do it? No, I can't do that, because it's going to drive me fucking nutty, and I'm just going to get into a downward spiral. But I can step into and say, okay, I see what needs to be done, but I'm going to give it up to the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and a miracle, because I'm going to be open to the guidance that is going to lead me to help to deal with that. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to be. I'm not sure exactly, that chariot keeps coming in on exactly which direction it's going to be in, but I'm going to trust that through the divine guidance, I'm going to be led to be able to work with this. It may not come in my time, the way I feel it should be coming in, but it's going to come in a way that is going to help me in God's time. And God's time, when we step into that, it is endless, it is boundless, and it is trust and faith. And with that Venus coming with the sun, in that conjunction is showing us, even though she's retrograde and she's not exactly in a nice spot, because she is going to go through the transformation of coming into the underworld and going into becoming the morning star and that bright light for us in the morning for the next 18 months. This is where it's like, okay, I have to let go. I have to let go. I have to let go of, and that could be in the way from the way I do my business to readdressing different things that are a part of it, to stepping out and saying, okay, well, maybe I do have to get a part-time job. Accepting that and knowing that it doesn't mean failure. And it doesn't mean that it's not a good thing, but it does show me that it's putting me towards something that is for me, for my growth, for my light to shine, for me to be that better part of who I need to be, and accepting that. That's and not comparing. See, the thing is that many times, you come out and you're like, oh, but you've been doing this so long. You should be here. You should be there. This is what you should be doing. But I can't do that, nor should you do that, because your journey's your journey. Your journey isn't somebody else's. What somebody else's journey is and how they do it that's all part what they have to do. But looking at what you have to do and how that aligns with you and how that feels within you is how your light is ignited, is how you shine and show up each and every single day. That's what it is. So, on that note, I'm going to send you guys out with so much love today. I'm already on here for 45 minutes almost. And I just wanted to touch base with you all and send you out so much love, and know that you are a shining light within this world, and that you need to allow for your light to shine, and know that when you get up and you try each and every day, it's not a failure. It's a step in the right direction. So have a blessed one, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, in all that you be, and all that you do. Shine in, step into the Christ consciousness energy, and know that you are a beautiful, loving light. Blessed be everybody, and thank you so much for being a part of my world and showing up with me each day. And when I do show up on here, blessed be everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Raylene. Thank you, everybody who's here. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.